Scorpio, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-November 2022. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes into energy and get a little vibe check before we fully get underway for the lovely Scorpio collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic. Let's see what's going on for my friends, my gods. Talk to me. Yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always intriguing. I know the Scorpios appreciate the shadow section. Let's get one card out here, please. And yeah, we're just moving out of Scorpio season, so if you missed any of my recent readings, I just wanted to wish you all a very happy birthday as we transition zodiacal seasons. What do we got for Scorpio? Beautiful, loving, caring, embrace. This is an Empress type of energy showing up front and center, so I like to start a reading off like this, regardless of what shows up in the rest of it. This is really nice, very tender, I'll say that. Now, before we fully get into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the November subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But into the reading, enough of the promo, have a little look here. You see this woman, you see this lady, she's snuggling up with that baby. So I do get Empress vibes here of blessings and fertility, motherhood, things like that. But a big vibe I always catch with this card is nurturing, tender love and care. So whether that's something you're yearning for, whether that's something that you need or want to give, this is very much loving and caring. And I always say, hey, if you need a hug, I got you. I'll give you a big old virtual bear hug, Scorpio. All right, I'm definitely cuddly. Now, when we get this card, also, it could speak of creation. So a lot of you might be in that mode where you're trying to create, trying to manifest. So this is a good way to start. Very loving and caring. So we're going to put her down right there with her little bambino and get into the tarot. I'm going to get you 3 in the upright before we get the intuitive, juicy stuff. You already know the deal. So let's shuffle it up for Scorpio. Yeah, and that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's nice, okay? It could just be you needing some hugs. But what do we got for Scorpio? All right, so last week's reading, and I try to keep these titles as simple as possible. I say it every week, but it was titled An Explosive Ending. There was towers, there was a lot of mayhem, so hopefully you haven't been going through too much rough stuff. Even the 2 weeks prior, the titles had the word warning in it. So I'm hoping the Scorpio collective doesn't have dicey people, dicey individuals and situations popping off. But we're going to see what we have for you this week. As you know, energy is very fluid. Nothing's ever set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. Let's get these 3 cards out. What do we got for Scorpio? All right, yeah, we have the Sword of Truth, Ace of Swords in position number 1. Okay, that's a good way to start. I always like starting off with an ace. Let's get 2 more, though. Thank you. All right, yeah, we have the 5 of Wands right next to it, so this explosive energy is still lingering here, Scorpio, with the air and fire. We're not going to get nervous about all that, though. Let's get 1 more. That could just be your determination, right, to get through things, and there it is. We have the 3 of Cups right here on the back end. So, yeah, there might be a test going on. Your determination might get checked here. But the way this is ending, that could be very, very nice and good. Let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes. Then we'll get that juicy, intuitive stuff. Interesting vibes we got going on here. Now, position number 1, the Ace of Swords. This could represent somebody's mind state, right? So your thought process, how you process things mentally. It's very sharp. This energy is no fool. So your brain could be firing all cylinders. You could be very strategic in this time, seeing right through everything when we have a card like the Ace of Swords. It could also be communication. It could be speaking, sending messages, stuff like that. And yeah, we're picking up the explosive energy in recent weeks, which is still showing up here with the fire air. Now, I say all aces are opportunities. The same goes with this Ace of Swords, but it could also represent cutting certain things out of your life, whether that's individuals, behavioral patterns. The Sword of Truth never fails. So we really want to clarify that card and see what it could be. Now, moving to the center, we have the 5 of Wands. This one is a double-edged sword, just like that Ace of Swords right there. Now, the 5 of Wands, you see these people, it's usually like 5 people literally beating the crap out of each other with sticks. So you don't really have to think too hard to understand what this card could be. It could be literal conflict, right? Whether it's inner conflict, whether it's outer conflict, it's an aggressive type of card. It's a fiery type of card. You see it here. In the positive, though, in the optimistic sense, if this isn't a warning about that stuff I was just referring to, the Five of Wands to me is somebody with tons of determination. They will see something through. It doesn't matter how many tests, trials, tribulations, people, whatever. This person's going to do what they got to do to reach that win on the back end. So speaking of, as we put that down, because yes, we still have to get a lot more detail here, Scorpio, we have our good friend, the Three of Cups. This is a big card of merriment, happiness, joyousness, celebration. So this is a beautiful card to show up, especially after the Sword of Truth and the Five of Wands. If you've been being tested or been going through a lot of things, I like seeing this card. Now, all threes in tarot could represent groups of people, people outside of yourself, more than two. I don't like to lean on that message too much, but there could be something with the people around you that you need to focus on. The positives of this card, though, is it is extremely celebratory. I love it. Now, the negative side, or the darker shadow side of the Three of Cups, could just represent somebody who is overindulging in things, overindulging in pleasures of the flesh, but it could easily be someone who's a little bit bitter, too, or an isolationist. So we want to dive deeper on all of it, Scorpio. Let's do that. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, so we're going to get a good shuffle here and see what's going down for the Scorpios, my guides. Talk to me. What do we got for my friends? And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Ace of Swords time. And also, if you're a tarot reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why this box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Scorpio, you can drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. All right, Ace of Swords. Let's go. Why's the Ace of Swords here for Scorpio? All right, thank you. Queen of Cups, yeah. All right, for a lot of you, this could be an emotional talk or a message. There might be something you really need to get off your chest, or you need to speak here. We have the Queen of Cups underneath the Ace of Swords, and that is one thing I always think when I see these two cards together. That's a card that could represent you. It could represent another water sign. So, all right, maybe you're having a meeting of the minds with another water sign. But when I see this together, the Queen of Cups generally feels things intensely, but pushes it down, pushes it down, pushes it down. So I feel like this is one or the other, especially with the cards that we have coming up. Either this is some sort of emotional talk or message that someone needs to vent these emotions and get them out in one way or another, or they will erupt and explode. Because you see the card right next to it here has a literal volcano. So if you're feeling something strong, if you're experiencing extra powerful emotions in this time, or feelings, whatever it might be, it's super important that you communicate them, Scorpio. And I don't want to pile on advice and stuff like that. That's just what I'm feeling here, emotional talking, communicating. Let's keep it moving. I'm not going to keep here piling on the messages, but especially with the volcano right next to it, the explosive energy I saw last week, you really don't want to bottle things up inside. That's the vibe. So let's go in on that Five of Wands. Why's the Five of Wands here for my Scorpios, please? Really want to get over to that Three of Cups. That could be a very nice happy ending here. Yeah, Eight of Wands in reverse. And this is an energy of suppression. Now, just on the imagery alone, if you look down here on this box, we got the Five of Wands with the volcano. We got the Eight of Wands with the lightning bolts and nighttime. This is all right, you might be feeling more aggressive than normal in this time, or there's someone around you that is feeling quite aggressive here. So beware of that energy, okay? This is heavy aggression. Now, another thing I will say, classically, because this is the vice versa tarot, it has a front side, a back side, like that. When we get the Eight of Wands in reverse. It's a card of not speaking or delays or pushing something down. So the message that I was given right here in the front end still applies here. If someone doesn't talk, if someone doesn't speak their piece, if they push it down, if they don't let it out, this explosion is inevitable, this eruption. So an emotional eruption, an emotional explosion is possible here. So there might need to be some venting, or you might need to get something off your chest, get something off your shoulders, okay? Or someone in your life needs to do those things, okay? So we're going to see what's up with the Three of Cups. Because this could also be two people, I mean, having a talk or a convo, one person reacting in a good way, one person not, okay? Like, you might just tell someone how you're feeling or what it is, and they might not react in a positive way. Let's just keep moving. Like I said, I don't want to over-talk these, overthink them. It is what it is. Let's see what's up with that Three of Cups. Then we'll do a quick recap. I think we're getting the point this week, right? Spirit's trying to tell us several things. And if you don't know, my friends, I'm a Scorpio moon. I have multiple Scorpio placements. All right. Yeah, we have the Four of Pentacles in reverse underneath this Three of Cups. All right. If it's tied to this talk or not, something good is coming down the pipeline with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. When the Four of Pentacles shows up in reverse, to me, it's a freeing up of energy. It's something being let loose. It's an energy being allowed to prosper and reign free. So when I see it with this Three of Cups, yes, there's a little caution about being too giving or being too generous in the coming days and weeks. Yeah, it's nice to be kind and help people out and give, but don't be too generous with your energy, with your time, with your money. Don't overgive. However, I do feel like this is something paying off for you in the long run huge. Whether it is getting something off your chest, having this talk, whatever it might be. Maybe if you heed the warnings. But with the Three of Cups, the happiness, and this Four of Pentacles in reverse, it's like, let the good times roll. Let's do this. Let's celebrate. Let's have a good time. Like, let's celebrate this. So this could be something paying off or a big win of some sort. I like it in the end. So very good. So just like I was saying in the very beginning, maybe after some trials, tribulations, if Spirit is testing you in various different ways, you might pass that test. And then those energies will just like free up. So let's go through and do a quick little recap here, Scorpio. I like how the reading ended, but there are a couple things we need to make note of if you kindly look in the box before the shadow cards. Position number one, we have the Ace of Swords with the Queen of Cups in the upright. So yeah, this might be a prominent water sign along with you, having like some sort of meeting of the minds. But I did feel like this is an emotional talk that needs to be had, or a message, or just releasing those emotions, because I was feeling that bubble. If you push all those emotions, those feelings down too much, eventually it's going to erupt and explode out. And we see it right here in the center too. Aside from that message about an emotional eruption or an emotional explosion, when I get the middle with the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands in reverse, aside from repression and stuff like that, it was giving me the energy of aggression. So you might be feeling a little more aggressive and fiery than you normally do in the next week. Or there could be someone around you where they're a little more temperamental. You might want to like, all right, yeah, I want to have this talk, but pick your lane, pick the right time to do it. On the back end, though, we have the Three of Cups with the Four of Pentacles in reverse. Absolutely beautiful. The freeing up of that energy. Let's party. Let the good times roll. Let's celebrate. This is something paying off in the end, or a big win in the end. So please take a screenshot of that if you want to look into it further. Let's get you one shadow card just to wrap this up and see what's good for the Scorpios. That was an interesting reading. At least it had a happy ending, right? So what's going on with Scorpio, please? Makes me happy. And like I was saying, I'm a Scorpio moon. Usually the Scorpio readings hit for me the most, to be honest with you. Well, let's get it going. What we got for Scorpio? Thank you. All right. Yeah, Three of Pentacles. So we did have a 3 in this spread as well. So talking about the community. For a portion of you, there might be something revolving around work or what you do for money or how you earn money that's showing up here in the shadows that, you know, really you need to take account for. When I see this Three of Pentacles, I always think teamwork makes the dream work. So there might be someone around you that really just doesn't work too well in a group, or they don't work well with others. But there might be some reflection you need to do about how you're earning money and what you're doing to earn that money. That's like the main thing I'm picking up here. Some of you might just be a lone wolf type of individual. Like, listen, I don't need help. I don't need assistance. I don't need a team. I will do what I got to do on my own. That could be another thing showing up here. You might want to analyze why that is, if that's the case. Okay, so interesting thing we have here in the shadows. Nothing too treacherous there, Scorpio, but that's what I have for you this week, my beautiful friends. Don't click away just yet. I'm going to give the details of the November subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the October subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced the day after Halloween, November 1st. But for November, I'm giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Vice Versa Tarot once again. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, it's 2 simple things. As always, first, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments, what are you most grateful for? 'Tis the season, am I right, my friends? That's all you need to do to enter. And at the end of November, I'll announce the winners in my community tab. My friends, as always, much love, and I'll see you next time.